Tarina, and I'm Tarina Whiteside, and I'm the CEO of Aprons Funeral More. So today I'm going to be telling you guys like how I got started and just the basic things you need to remember to start your own business. So I began as it was a school project, and the teacher told us I had to bring in something that explains or shows what you want to be when you grow up. So I wanted to be a waitress. So I decided to make my own apron. And after I got on social media, then people started asking me to make one, and they started buying it. So social media is a big part of starting a business. One thing you need to really know is your advertisement. So you want to get a lot of people to know about your products, because the more people know, the more they'll share. If you have one friend that knows, they'll tell the rest of their friends, and a lot of people will start knowing about your business. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are really good social medias to have your product on, because there are a lot of people on those. And a way that I advertise is I have on my Facebook page, I have it to where people can tell me the design, the color, whatever they want on their order apron or whatever they want to order. Some more things that you need to know to get your stuff out there is booths. If you don't know what those are, it's where you go out in public and set up a table and have your products there. You want to go check most of those out, because it could be really good exposure for your product. You also want to do storefronts, which is when you go and put your product in another store. It does sometimes cost a little bit, but it's a good step to have your stuff put out there. You also want to have cards. I actually have cards. You want to always carry your cards around with you, because you never know when someone's going to come and ask you what your business is, or do you have a Facebook page. So you always want to carry your cards around with you. And interviews is another thing. Sometimes people will come and ask you things like, how did you start, when did you start? And you always need to know these things, even you don't have to write them down. You just need to remember, like, when you started, what do you make, and your prices. Okay, so finance, which is the money. So once you start, you'll have a basic price for all of your products. But the more skilled you get, the more you need to charge for your products. Who has a business in here? Anybody? What do you do?
Let's see. I clean shoes.
You clean shoes? Okay, so if you clean shoes, how long does it take you to clean shoes?
Just about like a minute and a half.
A minute? Okay, so how much do you charge for it?
30 seconds. $5.
$5? See, $5 is a good price. It takes her a minute to do it, so she charges $5 for it. The quicker it takes you, or the more skills you do, the more you can charge. If you're just beginning out, you don't charge that much, because you're not that advanced in it. But once you get more skills in it, then you can charge more. You have a question?
Mhm.
Yes.
If you make your pros downer, like
Your price?
lower, make your purchase lower. Do more people come? Cause it's lower.
It depends. It depends on what you have. If you have a really low price, sometimes low prices are not good, because if you have something like that's a really good product and you sell it for something like really low, that's not a good price. Because if you go to the store and you buy something for $5 and you only sell it for $2, you don't make any money, because you just spent all of it on getting that material.
To make
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
What is your price?
Well, for me, it depends. Since I've been doing this for 5 years now, I have my prices, like, it depends on what you get. Like, I have basic prices, like since I specialize in aprons, that's my main thing. A solid adult would be $18, but if you get something special on it, it might cost more than that. So it just depends on like the things you get. And another thing you need to remember is, like I said, when you do your prices, make sure that you have it to where when you buy your supplies, you have it to where you actually get that money back. If you spend $10 on supplies, you need to make sure you get that back. Even if you make $10, you need to get those $10 back. So if it's $10, maybe you charge $15 for it because you have to get those $10 back. So when I get an order and someone pays me, I separate my money in 4 ways. So one goes to my material funds, because you never want to spend your own money on materials. You always want to save that for yourself. And booth funds. So when you go to booths, you always want to have change in there. You never want to go to a booth with no money, because someone could come and have extra money and you need to give them back change. Another fourth goes to me, because I have to get paid. And the last fourth goes to my motivation, which is my Paris fund. That's really why I started, because I've always wanted to go to Paris. So if you have motivation, that's like what you can use to kind of get your business started. One day in the future, when you're really good at stuff, you can have employees. So when you get employees, you will have to take their pay out of your pay. Like you can't take it out of your, if you have, who out here, you do, you have motivation, like, why did you start your business?
Because I had cleaned my shoes, then I said I like cleaning my shoes because it make my hands do extra work. And it make my hands feel relaxed when I do extra work.
Okay, so.
Nobody goes Casper.
Okay, so for me, like I started it because of the Paris thing. So you never want to take any money out of your Paris funds or of your material funds, because you need those for important things. Okay, now talk about your product. Your product, it has to be neat. If, like for your shoes, since you do shoes, you have to make sure that your shoes are clean, or else people won't get them. They have to be nice as well, and they can't be too pricey. You can't charge you can't charge cheap for your shoes. At the same time, you can't make it too pricey, because then people won't buy it. So maybe in the middle, that's where the good price is. Your product also has to be very creative, because, you can have, 1 million people can have the same idea as you. You just have to make your idea more creative than everybody else, because they'll be like, ooh, this little girl, little boy has a very creative idea. No, I've never seen anybody else do it. I'm gonna go shop with her. So you have to make sure it's creative. You also have to have a variety of things, because people don't like the same thing, one thing over and over again. And you also have to make sure you don't get it dirty. That's one of the most important things. If your product is dirty or messy or anything, people are not gonna continue to buy from you. Did you have a question? Okay, what's your
How much money do you make in a day?
It depends on how many orders you get. Cause you can get like 5 orders in a day, but if you don't make them till 5 days, and you make like this much money a day, then this much, then this much. So it just depends. Anybody else? You have a question?
Do you got any employees that work for you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Anyway,
You will one
you have a
day.
question? No. No. Okay. No. Okay.
How come? You got a question, baby? Go ahead.
Yep.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 12.
Okay,
You're in 6th grade?
Yes.
My sister is.
No, this is too.
Okay. Training. These are things that you can do to get better at what you're doing. So, doing things like when you have free time, like on the weekends or even on breaks or the days you don't have school, you can go home and, like for your shoe business, you can go home and practice cleaning your shoes or practice whatever your business is to get better at it. You can also go to classes. There are sometimes classes at the a library, and they just have like classes where you can go and learn about how to interact with people or how to talk to people when they come to your booth. You can also go to mentoring groups, which help you be more creative, or they help you like talk to people more. YouTube is a very good way to learn about how to get more advanced in your products. Even if they have the same products, you just go on YouTube and you can look and find new ways to do whatever you're doing. And most important, practice. You don't even have to do it